Good morning, world. How are you all doing? Today's video is a real humdinger. We speak to one of the demonic apparatchiks that is part of the child trafficking networks. It's really, really rare to find this kind of data. For those of you who don't know who we are, our teams of astral travelers fly with two basic objectives. One is to accelerate Gaia's ascension and aid that in any way we can find. And two is to halt, slow down, stop, prevent, impede, and hopefully end the cabal's non-physical infrastructure and allies. But if you watch our previous videos, then you'll start to see more of what we do. Now, myself, I work as a professional exorcist. People with mental health issues and early childhood abuse love my work. This particular video came during part of my session work, and we've deleted the identity of the lady involved. But what we did was this lady was abused as a child. And during that abuse, a demon was inserted in her. We were doing the clearing on these, and we found one that is related to childhood sexual abuse. And we spoke to the master intelligence, the head of the hierarchy of this particular type of demons. And as it turns out, he's a minor apparatchik or a minor demon lord in the apparatus of the Loosh harvesting from. Now, the data that's specific is during my exorcisms, I'm able to bring the demon to the front of the personality so that they can speak out that person's mouth. And the one that we're talking to is the master demon who took that place of the inhabiting demon and speaks out this lady's mouth. Now, the level we're playing at, these techniques I developed myself, they're rare and they are cutting edge. So please, by all means, you see, most demons are afraid of me, or they consider me their enemy. So they're not really very divulging. They're not very giving of the information that they have. They don't want to give me intel on their organization. However, in this case, we have a minor demon lord who would prefer me to euthanize them than S to do that. S being Satan. So it's the fear of his master that allowed him to take the offer of euthanasia from me, him and his whole organization, him and his whole department might be a good, better word for it. And so the reason he's talking to us is that this interview is a condition prior to his euthanasia. And I can say very, very well that his euthanasia went swimmingly. So did his whole department went with him. So I'll leave you with that little tidbit and enjoy the show. Just for the viewers at home, would you like to explain the exchange that's going on, what I'm going to do for you right now?
I'm going to give you intel, and you're going to euthanize me so I don't have to deal with him.
Who is him? What's your job? What do you do for S?
Collect the luge from the little children.
Under what circumstances do you collect it?
Their fear, their torture.
Under what circumstances are they producing luge? Can you give us more detail?
Electrocution.
Is that a preferred method, is it?
One of them, because we don't have to be around them. They can be alone and have it happen.
And that produces all the fear you need in them.
The adrenaline.
I'm afraid to ask the next question there. Are these kids to use to create adrenaline products? Where does that adrenaline product go?
Ukraine.
Why? What's in Ukraine?
The facility that manufactures it, processes it.
No wonder they'll put any amount of material in there to protect Ukraine. Who is it distributed to?
13.
13 families. 13 what?
13 families. You know, when they say that there are energy companies in Ukraine, right?
Basically, any kind of major company in Ukraine is trading in this material, is that right?
They're called energy companies, but they're not what you think of as energy.
The human definition of energy and the non-human definition of energy are different.
Correct. It's not a power plant, but we want you to think of it like a power plant.
Well, nobody's interested in power plants. Nobody cares about power plants. If you say you work at a power plant, nobody asks the second question. And so the recipient's all human. So we can't use that word of the
I
adrenaline
can't.
product.
Depends on what your definition of human is.
Elucidate us. Tell us what you mean.
They look like humans, but they're not.
Are they, is their origin from, are they from Earth?
Under Earth,
Do they wear skin, or do they use illusion, or what is the deal?
both.
And we know them very well, don't we? Tell me about these underworlders. They're lizard-like in form.
Yes, the reptilians, they live under. They can't really be up here,
Why not?
the sun, but plus they would not mix well with the humans.
I think the fighting would be instantaneous, don't you?
Yes,
And who would win that fight?
reptilians,
Why?
technology,
The humans couldn't defeat them on their own.
not without the technology.
Are they allergic to sunlight?
Yes,
Is this where the legend of vampires comes from?
yes,
And there's a species masquerading as humans under the earth. How big is that population?
about 1 million.
And there is a relationship between the 13 and that species, is that right?
The 13 are them.
And so you'll never see any of the 13 families in daylight.
Correct.
Are they afraid of ultraviolet, or what's the deal?
I don't know.
Fair answer. It's a detail. And so what is the purpose behind the 13 families managing the world for their brethren? What do they
They're
provide?
They're reptilians. It's for control. It's for power and control. Humans are just food.
Well, we don't think very highly of that idea, strangely enough. How many, and they eat our children. Do they live on just loosh, or do they need the physical person as well?
Oh, they like the physical.
Why?
They're carnivores.
And how many people do we send to them as appeasement every year?
At least 1 million.
And explain to them what your position is in this hierarchy, in this system.
I'm a nobody.
How many, I encountered you as the top dog in a hierarchy of demons. Now, it may not be a very big hierarchy, but it still is one. What's your normal job? What's your role in this whole machine?
Making sure everyone collects their luge.
And sorry, I'm not sure the crowd is familiar with this, but you put one of your minions into a child, is that right?
Yes.
The child's then tortured,
Yes.
and you are the conduit through which the loosh is collected.
Yes.
How many minions do you have inserted in people?
100,000.
Say again?
100,000.
And what's the life expectancy of your average insertion?
Once we insert, maybe max 2 years.
And what's the average age of your inserts?
6.
And how many of them are shipped to the underworld?
Depends.
It varies, huh? Just give us round numbers.
40%.
And there's quite a few beings like you, aren't there?
Yes.
How many would you guess?
3 or 4.
Sorry, how many? Remember that I'm doing you a favor and making your death short and sweet. I want you to be clear and direct. How many?
300 or 400.
Nobody will even notice you're missing, will they?
Doesn't matter. I told you I was a nobody.
You're a small cog in a big machine. The reptilians that are here, right? They're from a star-sparing race. Is that correct?
But they don't consider that anymore. Earth is their home. They've been here that long.
Is there traffic between that colony and other colonies?
No.
Is there communication between that colony and other colonies?
No.
Why are they isolated?
They cut themselves off.
Why?
They didn't like the way the others were going.
What way were the other ones going?
To the light.
What's the average life expectancy of one of their people?
500 years.
And each of them gets a person every year, more or less.
Pretty much.
Several people per year?
Depends on their ranking.
And so what would the average foot soldier get?
Sometimes none.
What else can you tell us? What weapons do we need to defeat them?
You,
Dumping a lot on my shoulders. You need a lot of me, don't you?
they don't expect you. They expect the tech.
Where would we get the tech from?
The US government already has it.
And they refuse to use it
Why would they use it on themselves?
on their allies and their friends. How much of the US government is human?
20%. Some snuck through. Should be 100.
How long do you think demonkind is going to stay here?
They don't have anywhere to go.
But you know your time is limited here, right?
That's what you say.
Sorry, how long have you got here?
Probably another 6 months.
What's happening that closes this door for you, that makes Earth uninhabitable?
The flash.
The solar, in your words, the solar flash is going to happen in the next 6 months.
I don't know when it's going to happen. Nobody does.
Tell us what happened on the last solstice.
It's very bright. Too bright for me.
Yeah, go into more detail than that. Sorry, can you say more? What happened for you guys after all of that light?
It's very uncomfortable.
You're saying that Earth is becoming less habitable for you.
Yes. Too many people are waking up. It's hard to be around them when they're awake and they know we're here. It's not fun anymore.
Well, party had to end sooner or later, didn't it? Are you going to miss Earth?
Sure.
You don't give a shit, do you?
Not really.
What do you care about?
Nothing really.
You don't even really
Myself.
want to.
Myself.
Well, and the first opportunity you want to be euthanized, is that right?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
Nope.
What do you want to say to humanity before you go? Just quickly. Did you know who I was when you met me?
Yes.
Am I well known amongst your kind?
Yes.
Why?
We've heard stories.
Do you guys feel threatened by me?
Threatens an interesting term.
What word would you use?
Annoyed.
I'm really glad that I can annoy you. That makes me very happy.
Or you can off. So there.
Well, one of us is going to survive this conversation, aren't we? Anything you'd like to say to your management, to S? I can feel that tension. Come on, say it.
Not giving you any more satisfaction.
How would you describe him in his relations with all of you and your kin? How does he treat you?
That's to be expected.
Come on, just a little bit more. We're so close. All of your minions are in one place. And when this conversation is complete, it's over. Just give us one more little tidbit, pretty please.
What do you want?
Well, we would like you to tell us what about S's personality and how he treats his workers.
We are just there to collect the luge. He does not care about us.
You ready?
Sure.
Talk all of yourself into this dimension I've set up. Bye-bye.
Thought that was pretty funny that my light timed out just as we were talking about the electric. Did you catch that?
That's hilarious.
It has a timer on it, but like if I don't move around the studio, it will go turn off. But I thought it was very funny that when we were talking about the energy.
Isn't that a little surprise? What these energy companies are actually for?
Was it helpful? I don't remember what I said.
You'll see it on TV. You'll see it on TV.
Oh, great.
It'll show up on YouTube.
Well, let me know if you need help doing that.
I don't know. Are you good at astral projection? Do you see a lot of stuff?
I don't know. I never got good at astral projection. I just got better at channeling. That was just the one that I went with.
I hear that.
Because I didn't really I didn't want to be out astral projecting on my own. You know what I mean? It's better to do it with a group and a
team
facilitator. You just don't go out willy-nilly astral projecting. You get yourself shot.
Oh no, I did, and I got hurt. I got really hurt. I'm actually lucky that I survived the whole experience. And so now I decided I'm not going to do it alone. And
yeah, you can't.
I've got some great friends who are there to help us. Oh, yeah, recording.